I know that man went into a cave somewhere and cried for a long time. Because like I told you, them Sagittarian men, they will you and then go home and cry about it. And when he stopped crying, he'll go for your wife. I don't hear nobody out there. First, when I say battle or others say beef, those words don't even begin to capture one of the most highly publicized war of words in hip-hop history. It had been brewing for a while. As soon as Takeover started circulating, everyone was wondering if Nas was going to respond. At first he didn't. Well, not for a few months. Nas's career had been kind of quiet at the time, and there were definitely people that had at this point begun to write him off. It had been 2 years since his Nostradamus had come out, and the reception for that was mixed. Perhaps Takeover had finished him. Nope. The truth was, it did the opposite. It reignited him. The consensus was that it woke a sleeping giant. On December 4th, 2001, Flex debuted Nas's single, Ether, which Nas dropped strategically on Jay's birthday. Okay, pause. So I remember distinctively the Nas and Jay-Z beef. I chose Nas. Not because I thought JayZ was not worthy, because he had some good commercial work. It's kind of like, Paul, let me go to the left a little bit. Don't be mad at me. You know how I do. I open up my video with some words and then I might go a little bit to the left with my commentary, right? But let me say this. In regards to Nas and Jay-Z, because Nas did win that battle, right? But in regards to Nas and Jay-Z, it reminds me of the who would win between Batman and Superman. Do y'all know who won between Batman and Superman? It was Batman, because Batman was highly intelligent. So even though Superman was stronger, Batman could outsmart Superman because he was strong, but he wasn't intellectual. Batman was intellectual. That's why he was able to create all these different gadgets. The same thing I say with Rihanna versus Beyonce. Okay, Beyonce is the Superman, but indeed Rihanna is the Batman, because they're both on the same level. I know everybody think that Beyonce would win between Rihanna versus Beyonce, because you see her all the time. But think about this. Rihanna don't have to go on tour ever again. We haven't seen her drop an album or go on tour in years. Rihanna been a billionaire. Beyonce, on the other hand, that bitch gonna work for the rest of her life. You hear me? I don't know who making her work like this. Is it JayZ? JayZ, why you making this bitch work like this? Can she sit down? Rihanna been sat down. That's probably why she wanted to cut off her relationship with the JayZ. No, you're not finna work me like a goddamn horse, like how you do your wife. You can put your wife out there on tour. You can put your kids out there on tour so that they can pay for your gambling debts, because he is a Sagittarian. You know them Sagittarians be having gambling debts. But Beyonce is finally understanding, girl, I don't want to work forever. Maybe I might have to put out a hair product. And in order for Beyonce to stay a billionaire, that bitch gonna have to tour forever. You see Rihanna is in her house chilling with her family, singing Glorilla. The consensus was that it woke a sleeping giant. On December 4th, 2001, Flex debuted Nas's single, Ether, which Nas dropped strategically on Jay's birthday. He answered takeover directly, and people went crazy. The war of words became painful to hear. Jay and I, without a doubt, had become friends over the years, but I was also a Nas fan. Illuminati was one of my favorite albums of all time. And through the years, we had developed a great relationship. But now there was this war, and everybody wanted blood. When Flex debuted Super Ugly on the radio, he played it and Ether all night, back to back, over and over. The phone lines were going crazy. People were eating it up. Not only in New York, but we were getting calls from all over the country. Believable. In all of this, Nas was being portrayed as the real MC, the underdog. Word. And people love to vote for the underdog. We sat there and hand counted the votes until the winner was clear. 60% of our listeners chose Ether over Super Ugly. As much as it irritated me to hear the venom towards Jay, I agreed that Ether was the better of the two records. I'm literally getting ready to announce the winner when I look into the hallway of the station and see JayZ walking into my studio. And the winner is Ether. I had to deliver Jay the blow while he was standing right there. To say he was uncomfortable is an understatement. The hype of that lasted for some time, and Jay took a much-needed vacation. By the time he came back, he was ready to talk. He walked into the studio and announced, "Hovey's home." We had one of our most fun interviews that day. He had shaken it off. He was back. You know that the Sagittarian man is very competitive. I know that man went into a cave somewhere and cried for a long time. Because like I told you, them Sagittarian men, they will do you and then go home and cry about it. And when he stopped crying, he'll go for your wife. Okay? So don't forget, them Sagittarians are dangerous. Dangerous. Y'all talking about that Puffy, that JayZ? Ooh. That was not the end of the drama, however. The competition between radio stations was about to kick into another gear. Power 105.1 began to get a little traction by going commercial free for what seemed like months. They had the massive war chest of Clear Channel to find their launch. Now, I don't know how the hell they afforded that. Because nowadays, it's more sponsor than music. Like TV shows. It's more commercials than goddamn show. Pay attention to these shows, y'all. If it's a 30-minute show, the show be like maybe 17 minutes a show, including the intro and the outro, and the rest of it be commercial. They had the massive war chest of Clear Channel to find their launch, but they still hadn't gained any real hip-hop credibility. In 2002, they finally found an opportunity. Nas was slated to perform at Hot 97's Summer Jam and had something planned for Jay, still fueled by winning the battle. He was planning to hang a JayZ lookalike doll from a noose on stage while he performed. Wow. Yikes. You know that Nas is a Virgo. Just like that song that he did with Puffy. And he was, that song, You Can Hate Me Now. And he was, hanging up there. That just was uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable. But them Virgo, y'all don't really know. When too much is too much. Y'all is famous for doing too much. Now, doing too much can work for you sometimes. But in that case, I don't know. Nas was slated to perform at Hot 97's Summer Jam and had something planned for Jay, still fueled by winning the battle. He was planning to hang a JayZ lookalike doll from on stage while he performed. Our program director was like, no effing way. She didn't say he couldn't diss Jay, but she just didn't want a noose on the Summer Jam stage. Nas got pissed and didn't show up to perform. We were all there waiting for him to close the show when people started calling us to say he's on Power 105.1 instead, talking shiz about everyone at Hot, me included. It was supposed to be Hot 97's biggest night of the year, but all you could hear in the summer parking lot was everyone in their cars listening to Nas on Power 105. This was not good. Apparently, Nas felt like the station in general was loyal to Jay and didn't allow him to express himself the way he deemed to be appropriate. That's not appropriate. Hanging a noose around JayZ's neck in front of 60,000 people was the expression in question. Not only did Nas go after Hot 97, but the Power interviewer was a disgruntled employee of ours, egging him on, and Nas willingly took the bait. I'm letting people know why I'm not at the Summer Jam. I've been bamboozled, hoodwinked, and the whole nine. I was told and begged to do the Summer Jam. I was begged to come to Hot 97 because I had a hot new record that nobody wanted to support except for the streets. I was told to come there and save Angie Martinez's job. I was told to come there and help the ratings at Hot 97 by Flex and the rest of the crew over there. I'm here to let my people know, all my hip-hop community people know, that I was dissed this morning by Hot 97 and told what I couldn't do on the show. It's really outrageous and really shows that the wrong people are in power. This hip-hop thing comes from the street. We need our freedom. The PS part of the story is that just as the smoke was clearing, Power 105.1 was getting legs. Nas's rant gave them a credibility they'd never had before. And now Hot became what Jay was in that battle we just ended. Now we're the ones to the throne. And the hate begins. Now we have to work harder. Baby, that's life. There is no life without competition and working super duper hard. Besides everything that had happened on radio in 2002, I had begun pushing hard as an artist while promoting my second album, Animal House. When it came time to take stock of how far I could go or wanted to go as an artist beyond the radio mic, I had to face some complicated feelings. I'd worked really hard to create these two albums, which gave me a whole new respect for the artists who are great at what they do. The criticism I got was to be expected, on the other hand, but still people were really critical. American Idol called to meet with me. The show had debuted the year before, and it was a huge ratings hit. After that, I had a couple of meetings with Fox, and eventually they offered me the job as the fourth judge, joining the panel with Simon Cowell, Paula Abdul, and Randy Jackson. The craziest part of this was that I had never seen the show. Promoting the album that year, I'd been traveling so much. Who had time to watch TV? It happened so fast. It was all in about 2 meetings, and they waved me on in. Okay, come on. I arrived at the convention space where auditions were held. I saw the other judges, Paula, Simon, and Randy, with their big entourages of stylists, makeup artists, and assistants. Then I go into hair and makeup to find that they have no one assigned to me. Excuse me? This is a network television show, and there's a hair person who doesn't even have a blow dryer or flat iron. It's a girl with a comb. So clearly, I'm the stepchild. Nobody ever sat me down and told me what the audition or even filming process would be, or how I could contribute. They just threw me in. All of a sudden, I'm taking on this coveted role and not feeling the love and definitely not feeling cute. From the beginning, the energy was weird. Later, it became apparent that the network had wanted to hire me, but the production company did not want another judge. So I somehow got tossed in the middle of that. Around the time that she is filming Idol, she's pregnant. I sat there surrounded by new people trying to be fair in my role as a fourth judge. Assessing the process, it bothered me to watch the production people send in mediocre or bad singers on purpose. A week after signing on to be a judge on the second season of American Idol, New York DJ hip hop artist Angie Martinez has bailed on the show, citing her discomfort with squashing the hopes of would-be Kelly Clarksons. They was mad at you, girl. Simon was like, you don't like it here, do you? No, because I don't believe y'all want me here. So you want to quit? Yeah, I want to quit. Okay, toodles. Like a blip that dissolved in time, the 4 days on Idol were soon behind me. Shortly after finding out that I was pregnant, I'd moved in with Tamir, the father of the baby I was about to have. Tamir? I thought her baby father was Nokio from Drew Hill.
All right.